Discover the best ways to pack comics to mail using real market research. My quick, concise conclusions next. Hi, I'm Alan from Townsend Comics. I've been collecting comic books for years. I got about 10,000. And now that I have 2 kids in college, I've got to figure out a way to sell them. In this video, you'll see the results of my packing research, an important warning on how to avoid federal fines, and my recommendations on the best ways to pack comic books to mail. The best way for me to research how to pack and ship comics was to buy them, to see how other people were doing it. On eBay, I looked for a range of different comics and bought single issue, mostly pack, and grab bags. A side benefit from buying on eBay and being a good customer with fast payments is this builds your credibility on eBay by driving up your feedback score. But that's another video. Soon, the comic books started to arrive. A few at first, then more and more. They came in all sizes with varying states of protection and decoration. Then I started opening them, which sometimes took a lot of work, like this one that was a folded up bag covered in plastic tape. And this one made of plastic that took a lot of pulling and cutting to clear. For other packages, it was as easy as pulling a string or cutting a few pieces of tape. These comic book mailers were by far the easiest to open and seemed to provide the best protection. I found comic books packed in all sorts of interesting things, like this wordplay card game box. And while I wondered why this box was wrapped in brown paper, it became clear when I found a USPS priority mailbox underneath. It wasn't the only time. In this shipment, I kept finding layer after layer of USPS supplies, like a set of Russian nesting dolls. Soon the mother load arrived at my doorstep, and this was getting serious. So I split this latest big pile into 2 categories: paper or plastic flexible envelopes on one side, and comic book mailers and boxes on the other. I tackled the envelopes first. Most were packed this way. None of the comic books were damaged, but with some of the packing I saw, that was a miracle. This eBay branded envelope was a great experience. Zipped open, and now this is cool. You can see how the seller has folded over the tape to make it easier to pull away from the board. The seller even wrote directions and tops it off with a thank you. Definitely a best practice. But I skipped the pull here and grabbed the scissors. Inside, the comic was also secured to the cardboard to keep it from shifting. All in all, a good packing. Next came the mailers and the boxers. All were so much better at protecting the contents, regardless of how the comic was secured inside. But on this medium-sized box, I was a bit disappointed to see single issues inside, not bagged or boarded. I do cut the seller some slack, as this is a mystery box I bought. When I finished unpacking, I had more than 100 brand new comic books. Well, new to me. Now, before I could start worrying about what I was going to do with them, I summarized the trends in the packing I saw. A lot of sellers included warnings to the mail handler. Do not bend. Fragile. Handle with care. With an evil-looking smiley face? Does anyone really read those before shoving a package into a mailbox or dropping it at the door? Beyond what was on the outside, I saw a lot of different dunnage. Yes, dunnage is an actual term. Basically, it's the stuff you use to protect the contents of a package. I found bubble wrap. Backing boards, produce boxes, the remains of a long box. But mostly I saw USPS supplies. However, if you look at those supplies, you see this warning.
This package is the property of the United States Postal Service and is provided solely for the use in sending priority mail shipments. Misuse may be a violation of federal law. This packaging is not for resale.
So here's that warning I mentioned. You may face a fine if you're caught misusing the supplies. In any case, 35% of the shipments I received, that's 35%, misused USPS supplies. Now, breaking down the type of packaging, 20 out of the 28 shipments I received used paper or padded envelopes. That's 75%. But despite that ratio, my recommendation from this research includes going with a comic mailer or a box. The mailers are a no-brainer. They're designed for this. A mailer, a USPS box, used correctly, or any sturdy corrugated cardboard box, protect better and easier to open for the customer. Also, remember, a limp book is an unhappy book. Always bag and board your comic book. It protects the investment and shows your professionalism. Avoid using the floppy paper, fabric, or light cardboard envelopes. I saw many with rips, but luckily, no damage inside. If you have to use them, make sure you sandwich the comic book between two pieces of cardboard that are at least a few inches larger on either side. And remember to secure the book to the inside of one of the pieces so the comic won't shift. Here's one that wasn't taped and fell out easily. Remember, if you shake a package and you can feel something move, you're risking the comic book. And as for tape, packing tape versus painter's tape, clear packing tape may be strong, but it's a pain to open. Keep the packing tape on the outside, but use blue painter's tape inside. It's a much better experience for the customer. What about warning,
Do not bend.
on the package? I guess if you think it helps, but I'd invest a few dollars in some cheap stickers or some stamps. More professional in my opinion. Please click the like and subscribe button if you are finding any of this valuable. I have another series of videos on unpacking comics that I've sent to CGC for grading. Check that out. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I'll be letting those followers know when my comic books go up for sale. See ya.